This is Enough Said Sports.
Guys, I hope all is well in your world. It is all well here at Enough Said Sports as we come to you with an NFL season preview and prediction by division. We're going to talk about the AFC East in this first particular division we're going to break down. Guys, join us on Patreon. I have put it in the description below, the link there. Also, check us out for our merch here. Got a little Cheese Alert shirt going on with the Enough Said Sports on the sleeve. Appreciate all the support, guys. And then, of course, our promo code for BETUS is also down below in the description box. Take advantage of that as well. Now, let's jump right into the AFC East in this year's NFL season. We'll start with the Buffalo Bills. They have a key free agent acquisition of Emmanuel Sanders this year to add to that duo of receivers. Of course, they had Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley there last year as the primary targets. Really didn't get any better at the tight end position at all. Kind of stood pat there. Offensive line is pretty solid for the most part. Not many changes there either. So they pretty much stayed pat on offense. I think the acquisition of Emmanuel Sanders will help them a little bit, possibly help them stretch the field a little bit more. Emmanuel Sanders is still a very, very good route runner. He is not one that's going to take the top off the defense necessarily, but he's a very, very solid receiver. Obviously, they have Josh Allen there in another year. I expect him to continue to improve. That young man has a cannon for an arm. Really took a huge step forward last year, reading defenses in the maceration process of one Josh Allen. Went very well last year. The one thing that concerns me about this team, I do not believe they got much better as far as their defensive pass rush, which I think this team really lacks. I think they do very, very well against the run. I think they're going to play the run well again this year. Big boys there in the middle, but they really don't have much of an edge rusher. So that would be my concern for them going into the 2021 season. Moving on to the New England Patriots. Obviously, the two big acquisitions is going to be Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. They drafted Mac Jones from the University of Alabama there in the first round to battle with Cam Newton in camp. Hunter Henry already got nicked in camp a little bit, but I think they're anticipating him to be ready to go for the season. I think this is going to a very, very good sign for the New England Patriots. I think they're going to have a much better year than they had last year. You're getting back to kind of that two tight end situation that you had there for years with Gronk and Aaron Hernandez when they were there on the team. That's that same scheme, and I think that they're going to kind of get back to that. I think it's a good sign also for Cam Newton because Cam Newton has shown over the years that the tight end position is one that he is able to utilize quite well. When you look at how well he played with Greg Olsen there in Carolina for many, many years. So I think that's going to all bode well for this team. I do believe Cam Newton will emerge as a starting quarterback, and I do believe Mac Jones will stay on the bench for this entire season. I think the Patriots will be good enough to keep Mac Jones on the bench and possibly have Mac Jones take over next season. Now, moving on to the New York Jets, obviously they got a new head coach, Robert Saleh. I'm probably butchering his name, unfortunately, but he was the former defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. I'm not real high on this hire, to be honest with you. I thought that the 49ers defense left a lot to be desired. I know they got banged up a little bit last year there and lost some key guys, Joey Bosa being the one that comes to mind first and foremost. But even in years past, I wasn't really overly impressed with the job that he did on the defensive end, but that's just my personal opinion. But I'm glad to see him get an opportunity here. Hopefully he does well. Corey Davis was obviously the key acquisition in free agency. They drafted young quarterback out of BYU, Zach Wilson, which I believe will ultimately end up being a good pick. I think Zach Wilson is really going to struggle this year. He seemed to, at his time at BYU when they did play a bit more competitive schedule at times. He really struggled against the better teams. Saw the game up against Coastal last year. That's one that kind of comes to my mind, where I really expected him to really excel and play really well. And I thought he did a poor job in that game. And I think that that's kind of an indicator of what you're going to see this season from him. But I do believe that ultimately Zach Wilson will be a solid NFL quarterback. I just think this year is going to be a little bit tough for him overall. The Jets do have a pretty good defensive line, but it's not going to be enough to overcome the mistakes of the young rookie there. Finally, we got the Miami Dolphins. Really like this team. They're loaded. They drafted Jalen Waddle, which I believe will be a very good acquisition. I believe he's going to be an excellent receiver there for Miami. Will Fuller, who unfortunately will start the year off under suspension, but I think ultimately he's going to be a very good acquisition for this team. They got a pretty solid defense, pretty solid offensively. The only thing that I'm concerned with is Tua Tagovailoa. I do not believe in Tua. I was one that thought that when he came in last year that he would be better than he was. Going back and looking at the film and studying it, he really struggled. Even when he got good protection, he really struggled. Looks like he's also struggling with some athleticism. I believe that hip injury is something that has taken a lot out of his mobility. And I think that that's going to not bode well for the Miami Dolphins this season. I think that they made a mistake with Tua Tagovailoa, and I think that's going to come back and bite them this year. I don't anticipate the Dolphins being very good as a result of Tua, but I do believe the rest of that team is very solid. And it's unfortunate that the play of the quarterback is going to drag them down. So who wins this division? I got the Buffalo Bills winning this division, guys, and right now on looks like BetMGM. As of right now, they're plus 200 to win this division. I think they win this division fairly easily. I do think the New England Patriots are going to be very good this year. I think they'll be right on their heels as far as being second place in the division. But I think Buffalo locks this division up probably with 2 to 3 weeks left in the season and goes on to the playoffs. I do think the New England Patriots probably make the playoffs. We'll see, but I like the makeup of their team. I like that 2 tight end combination. Josh McDaniels has shown in the past that he is very good scheming with that 2 tight end package. So I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills plus 200 in this AFC East. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, any concerns, please email me. I got my stuff down in the description box. And as always, thank you so much, guys. Look forward to interacting with you. Have missed you, and I'm glad to be back at it making videos again. Talk to you soon, guys.